Hey, welcome back to A-Aron Reacts, and we're back for another Angelina Jordan, and we begin a new chapter here. This is the Ivan Mendez chapter of Angelina Jordan, and thank you very much right up front to James Thiel, who put together a playlist for me. So very much appreciated, and I'm going to listen to him, and it says that there are a number of things, but I want you to react to the first two together. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we've got a 1A and a 1B. And so it says, start with the background story. Ivan Mendez wrapped in a warm blanket interview, condensed content of interview related to the recording of the cover is now on Angelina's official cover channel. And then it's unlisted. I created this video to tell a story of Ivan's interactions with Angelina and how the recordings were made without having to watch the whole, wrapped in a warm blanket. Sorry, it was abbreviated episode. Which I guess is a podcast. I've not heard it or seen it, but I've been told I'm going to be a guest on it, so that's interesting. Although I was asked recently, kind of semi-informally in a chat, and I said, well, James himself said I have to be, so I'm guessing at some point that will happen. And then 1B, Angelina Jordan, A Million Years Ago. I think this might be one of her originals. Let me look at that, actually. I should have done that ahead of time, sorry. Oh, it looks like it's an Adele song. So actually, it might be one of Adele's songs I don't know. So that'll be interesting. But let's get right to it. We're going to do both of those here. So let's jump right into the interview.
Yeah, so that's sort of how we met. It was a friend of a friend that kind of connected us, and then from there, we just continued to work together to make videos.
Now, when I was speaking to Agil, and you've seen the video, he was making the point that when they had a practice session, everything was completely spontaneous and everything was just invented as they went along. Is that how you found it with Angelina?
Yes, actually. A lot of the times I would ask them if they could just let me know what songs they wanted to record ahead of time so I could learn them. And that was not really their style. It was more like, well, just, come over and then we'll figure it out. So I just showed up, and then we'd probably hang out for like the first half the day. And then sometime at night, like pretty late, then we'll be like, oh, hey, have you heard this song? No, I've never heard that song. And then be like, yeah, well, that's a really good song. I think we like to do this song. Okay. And then I would learn it just right then, and then we would record it.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of the songs, really, you were improvising as you went along. You knew of them, or you were completely improvising as you played?
Some of them I had just learned it. Like, we would learn it, then 5-10 minutes later, then we would record it. And some of them I had heard before. And I had never heard A Million Years Ago. That one I hadn't. But the guitar stays on 4 chords, so it was a pretty easy one to catch on. And then Stay, I had heard many times. I was just going to mention something, I don't know. I hope this is okay to say, but I don't think it's bad, but I don't know if many people know that not only I'm very new to a lot of the songs, I learned them on the spot, but she also does, she's a lot of her videos, she's reading off of a screen for the words, the lyrics. And that's another, to be reading and to be able to concentrate on the song. Because when you know the lyrics, when it's your song, you can really interpret and just focus on the interpretation of it. But the fact that she's also reading it, staying on track, and it's like her mind's working on so many different things.
We know she's a genius.
It just makes it seem so flawless.
We know she's a genius.
Put up the lyrics, listen to the song, and then we start recording it.
Yeah. Her reading the lyrics as she sings is really obvious. She does that many times. And for people who follow her closely, we're really aware. But as you say, she does it absolutely seamlessly. She does it with no problem at all.
Yeah, she does. And that one was the one that I ended up having the most views with Angelina, I believe, A Million Years Ago. And another one is I had just put on new strings, and I hadn't even cut the ends of it on the guitar, and I just realized they're still coiled up. So that just tells you how impromptu a lot of these performances are. It's just kind of I show up, we talk about a few songs, and then start playing and turn on the video and record it. it's difficult to concentrate on the song when you're so like an audience, playing and I'm an audience as well because I'm just listening. I'm trying to I'm trying to follow her to the best that I can. So because that's how she works. She's like, okay, you follow me, and then yeah, you just follow the tempo to get into the groove, and then I get lost in the music sometimes. So
So this is shedding light on something that happened to me recently. So kind of a continuation of the saga for those of you that have been following me closely is that, I did contact Nina Schofield after the concert. I met her in person briefly at the LA concert, and I contacted her, and she contacted me back and is interested in doing something. We both have difficulty with time. So more than likely we will collaborate, but it's not official yet or anything like that. So I don't want you to say that she made a commitment or I made a commitment or anything like that. But we're both busy, right? And so it will take some time. But she asked me a question during that I hope she's not going to be annoyed that I'm sharing some of this with you, but I don't think it's too intimate or personal. But anyway, I think she said assume. Either way, will it be done in one take? Hearing this, I think that there's basis in her question that maybe I didn't fully understand until hearing this, is that it seems like maybe it's more Angelina-esque to just turn on the record button and do it, right? Get the folks together and just do it. And so that makes me much more intrigued to arrange that. And by the way, for those that don't know what I'm talking about, I had talked about that I created lyrics for her song, Million Miles, and ultimately, I want to reproduce it, and it's about how her fans support her equally as much as she supports us, and so forth. And the more I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking I'm going to do a slightly jazz arrangement of it. But either way, I think that this whole concept is right here, recording, just basically talking about what we're going to do and just doing it. Is reminding me of what Nina had said there. So,
because it's clear even when she was 7 and 8, she was very, very focused with her music, and she knew exactly what she wanted and what was best, and she was very able to diplomatically communicate that, and that's one of the special features of her.
I think what you said is very true, which is that she has a very clear vision for what she wants. Remember when we would sit down and I wasn't really playing the song the way she intended it to be, and she would stop me and tell me, oh, here's where you should go slower, or here's where you need to pick it up, and then direct me, and she was so professional about it. And there were times I would make 3 mistakes in a row. Like I would make a mistake and I would forget, like, oh yeah, we're supposed to go to the bridge, or in fact I made a lot of mistakes on the videos that are out that were published, but I just kind of covered myself, because a lot of the times I had just learned the song. So like a million years ago, I think I had just learned it, and that must have been maybe the second take, and it was we were going into a different part of the song, and I totally forgot about it, and it's like because I was just listening to her, and then I quickly catch myself again, like on the right track. But she was very good about letting me know what her vision was.
I'm a big fan of her low register, but for me, it's so massive. The emotional content she puts into her voice, and almost like she can put it into one word and then a different feeling to another word and another word. And it's just off the charts. And thousands and
I would take that further, actually. I don't think it's one emotion, one word. I mean, not that he's saying that it is, but her ability to weave complex emotions into microtones, milliseconds, multiple emotions throughout one single word. So I feel like it's much more expanded than what he's saying there. I mean, I 100% agree with the sentiment. And the other thing, while I've got it paused, is we know that she's the boss.
thousands of people around the world experience this, and they can't put it into words.
Yes, I can't put it into words. I can't. It's just it's incredible. I mean, it's a gift from God for sure. I wish I could elaborate more on on what she does, but I mean, frankly, I don't know that she understands it all. I think it just comes out. I think that it's really just such a big.
I think she does. I think that there's probably a part of her that doesn't know necessarily the mechanics of how she's able to deliver it. But I think at the age of 12 here, which is absolutely insane, right? Like she's 12, and we're talking about this, right? As if like it's like a 40-year-old person that's experienced life. But in Angelina years, for Angelina and her performance, that's what it's like, right? And at this age of 12, she's so mature and experienced and professional with so much experience under her belt that I do believe that in these years, I mean, this is the year where we have, Quincy Jones Fly Me to the Moon, right? Like she's so well developed that I think she absolutely knows what's going on at all times. I mean, I really believe that.
Part of her. I mean, she's been singing since she was so little. She's
Exactly
raised in an artistic family. It's just who she is, and that's what makes it what it's even more special. That's just. I always felt like I needed to do the best job that I could, and because of her quality of an artist. But that's the amazing thing about them.
I can't imagine how intimidating it must be playing with her. Like really, right? It's like you've got this, Beethoven, Mozart, right? Einstein in front of you, right? You want to, be able to keep up with them. And that's why it's so special with her connecting with folks like Rob Christie and these guys, these cats of, Jimmy Z and so forth that have so much vast experience, because they're not going to feel that same way. They've been around the block. They're only going to lift her up. They're not going to feel that intimidation. They're going to play with her and they're going to treat her like the others. And we've seen that. Whereas somebody that hasn't reached the world's elite, is going to feel completely intimidated.
That they know that the most important thing is to just come out with like just what it is, very, very unfiltered, very genuine, just very raw. And I think that's
probably the
gem
challenge
of Angelina Jordan. It's just she doesn't need much. She doesn't need to be added anything to make that. Like a lot of artists that need a lot of production or need a certain image, need to have certain personality. She doesn't need anything.
So I mean, probably what happens for these a lot of these musicians, kind of going back to what he said, and clearly he spent some time with her, so he knows, especially in retrospect, how much of a once in a forever talent she is, right? But for those of you that haven't been following Angelina, that don't see it the way that us real angels see it, and I do consider myself in that group now after 114 reactions or something to that fact, seeing her live, meeting her, second row center stage. Again, thank you so much, guys, for that. I think that for those of you that don't, imagine that you knew of the stature of Michael Jackson when he was a kid, what he was going to become. And of course, Jackson 5, he was already famous, but not the lifetime accomplishments that he was going to achieve. You didn't know that, right? You knew he was super special, but you didn't know that. So imagine performing with him, knowing that when he was 12 years old, right? Literally, it would rock your world. You as a musician, especially when you do the rehearsal, right? And then you see that, then it's like, oh my gosh, right? You want to be on your best, I want to say best behavior, but you want to put your best foot forward. And it's got to be nerve-wracking. I could only imagine.
I can't wait till people can go to concerts again and she's performing, because that's...
Sorry, I know I just interrupt, but I think this is super beneficial for those of you that didn't get the opportunity. I'm so grateful for it, of meeting her face to face, right? She has this disarming quality to her as well, though. I mean, when I met her, it was like, it happened. It's only a few months I had been doing stuff with her, so it was almost surreal, right? And it was unexpected. I wasn't even supposed to. I didn't pay for it. Another angel actually gifted me the ability because someone lifted. So I'm super grateful. It's all incredible, right? But, we were on a line up the stairs, and I didn't sit there. I was talking with people and stuff, and I probably should have, but I wasn't really prepped. I didn't think a lot about what I was going to say. And so when I first met her, I didn't really know what to say to start off. So, and I just kind of said, hi, and she responded with like the warmest, like welcoming, right? Hi, like, what's up, and that just like disarmed everything. And I've got to imagine she's got a quality to her just in her heart from a musician's standpoint as well, is like, look, we're just playing here. Like, just be yourself, right? Like, I've got to imagine that applies here, but obviously I've never been in a session with her.
That's the best way to understand it. It's just taking it in and enjoying it live. I think just being there while we were recording and practicing, your soul just takes it in. You don't need to dice. You don't need to get every little piece and understand why she does what she does. It's just, that's the beauty about art. It just happens, and art is just allowing yourself to make mistakes and knowing which ones to keep. Knowing which ones you don't keep, which ones you keep.
Maybe it'll happen in a year or two, but she should be unbelievably famous by now.
Yeah, and I think that'll come the time when it's right. But her family is very wise to take their time and make sure that any decisions that they make them with a solid foundation. Just because they want to protect her. They've made a lot of her choices just to protect her. In due time, I mean, with that kind of talent, you can't really keep it away from the world.
Exactly. I said the same words essentially, is that it's a matter of time with Angelina. It literally is a matter of time. But we are starting to rally around promoting her. I'll put a link into my promotion video. Please join us in continuing to promote her. All right, well, let's get to the next one. That was pretty long, so we're going to try to jump right in here. This is a million years ago. Apparently, it's an Adele song, but also Ivan had just learned it. So that makes me feel better that I didn't know it. And so here we go.
I only wanted to have fun, learning to fly, running to run. I left my heart beside the way.
Wow.
I was young. Deep down, I must have always known that this would be inevitable. To learn my stripes have to pay and bear my soul.
Okay, I think that's a good place to stop here. Oh my goodness, that sound. And when she gets into that lower register, just so full of a sound. And that vibrato, it's just so serene and just kind of as Ivan said, it hits you, right? Like it pierces your soul as she's saying soul, right? I just love her smooth, legato, connected, vibrato, airy sound here. Just so much control. I still remember talking, it wasn't that long ago, talking about her at 6, 7, 8 years old about how much airiness she was letting into her sound. And I think that was going to be a super good thing at some point. And we see that here. She has so much control. She has the ability to turn on knobs whichever way she wants. Beautiful.
In my soul.
And it's so low for a girl, by the way. So I just talked about how low she went, and then she goes straight up into high and flips her voice up and just seamlessly, like, you got a massive range here. What are we, like 5 octaves now here? 4.5 octaves? And just Ivan's face says it all here, right? The moment she started singing up there, and just beautiful at that. He can't play anymore. He's seduced by her. You know, I mean this in a very positive way. I wanted to say witchcraft. I don't mean that in any kind of derogatory or, dark way. It's just he's under her spell. Like she put a spell on him, like she's done for all of us.
I know I'm not
Look at his
the
face.
only one
How can you now?
who regrets the things I've done. Sometimes I just feel it's only me who can't stand the reflection that see. I wish I could live a little more. Look up to the sky and not just a flower. I feel like my life is flashing by, and all I can do is watch and cry. I miss the air, I miss my friend, I miss my mother, I miss it when life was a party to be thrown. That was a million years ago. Million years ago, when I walk around off the street where I grew up and found my feet, they can't look me in the eye. It's like they scared of me. I tried to think of things to say, like a joke or memory.
The control on all of this, but it's the perfect example. Just listen to the amount of control on Say here. It's absurd.
Of things to say, like a joke or memory, but they don't recognize me now in the light of day.
How does she even get so low? But the control, it's just... And then the delicateness.
I feel like my life is flashing by, and all I can do is watch and cry. I miss the air, I miss my friends.
I'm quite sure that is the best flip up I've ever heard her do, and this is just 12. Like, it's ridiculous.
I miss the air,
so
I miss my
beautiful.
Friends, I miss my mother, I miss it when life was a party to be thrown. But that was a million years ago. A million years ago. Bye.
And of course, we've got that cute bye at the end. And just Ivan's without words, of course, as am I. Now I see and understand why you guys are so excited about me doing the Ivan Mendez chapter. And some of you in person at the concert when we were hanging out told me that his reactions are part of what makes this so special for you. Wow. I'm so anxious to do more of this, guys. Definitely. All right. Thank you. We'll leave it at this. This is a long one. So thank you much. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Just do it. And if you're an angel and you haven't joined our membership, but are Die Hard Angel, consider joining that. There's a link in the description for that. And thank you much. We love you. Take care.